Welcome back to We Are Nacogdoches. It's the show where we get to talk with the people about the things and places that make our town special. And I'm really excited today. My name is Kelly Augustine. I work at the Nacogdoches County Chamber, and I'm happy to be able to introduce our special guest, Theresa Jordan, who's the Animal Services Manager for the City of Nacogdoches, but also introduce her friends, Duck, I'm holding, and Theresa's holding Herring. Hi, Theresa.
Hi.
These are so sweet that you brought these extra guests for us today.
Well, they're going to enjoy their little outing today. I think they'll have a good time.
I guess you get to spend a lot of time with furry friends where you work.
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Animal Services does in Nacogdoches?
Well, we run the adoption center out on the West Loop, and we have all of our animals that come into us after they spend a little bit of time with us, give owners an opportunity to come in and reclaim them. Then we move them up for adoption if they don't have an owner that reaches out for them. So these are two little guys that are available for adoption right now. And we also enforce the chapter in our Code of Ordinance on animal regulations. So we have animal control officers that go out into the city and pick up strays and make sure that our animals in our community and our people are safe and interacting with healthy animals. We also try to educate the public about animal care, and we do a lot to get the word out about these little guys because we want to see them in permanent homes.
So how would someone go about an adoption?
There's a couple different ways. You can look online. Our system is linked to Pet Finder, and that publishes all of our animals that are available for adoption. There's several other shelters throughout the United States and rescues that do the same thing, but it's a kind of a collection of animal service industry people that have animals out there that are trying to find homes. And you can look up and you can specify what kind of animals you have, or what you're looking for, how far you're willing to travel for them, and it'll give you all of the shelters and rescues within that distance that you're trying to find, so that we pair people up with the right pets. And then if you want to adopt locally, you can look there. And then if you're interested in something on our city webpage, we have the Animal Services Department is on there as portion of the city's page. And you just navigate to the adoption section, and the application is right there online, so you can just fill it out and set it in.
What are some things you would have someone think about if they're interested in adopting a pet?
Do your research. Make sure that if you are looking for a specific breed, look at the natural behaviors of the animal that you're wanting to adopt, so that you don't adopt something into your home that is not going to be suitable. You know, you don't want to bring a really high-strung animal into a home with tiny little toddlers that are going to get knocked down. If you lead a fairly calm lifestyle and you don't get out and walk a lot, you don't want a working dog. So it's pairing the right people with the right animal, and just do your research and make sure that you understand what the animals need as far as their natural behaviors go, so that you're not taking something home and then it not be something that works out.
I think another good way that your department works is to get these out into the community, these babies,
Yes,
and people can actually, spend some time with the animals. So how does that work?
Well, we have a rescue adoption coordinator that attends those events around town. And like tomorrow, she's going to be at Atwood's for their pet costume contest, and she'll have some information out there about the animals at the shelter and what we do, and she'll have a pet out there, and so things like that. We're also going to be starting up with one of our local restaurants, and we're going to be doing pooches on the patio, and so we've done that. We've been at the Harley shop for adoption events, just local business that reaches out to us that welcome us in, and we spend a few hours a day, once a month or so, at each of these places, and it just lets people interact with the animals, even if they don't get to it home. If they can't take something home, at least they can spread the word about them. And if you can't adopt, then foster. If you can't foster, share, and do everything we can to get these guys out there.
Yes, and you and I were talking earlier about your connections with rescues. How do you work with others around the country?
We we do a lot of research, and we look up rescues that are dog specific, like breed specific rescues. And we have some that are just general rescues that will take just about everything. Um, we had 3 dogs leave the shelter yesterday that were going to New York, and so that was a really happy day for us. And big dogs, because big dogs are harder to get out there. People are a little leery about adopting large breed animals sometimes. Um, so we do a lot of networking with the research, or with the rescue organizations, and we just send them anywhere we can to get them out of the shelter.
Well, that's great. We appreciate your work to find those homes for them. Uh, what what is it about Nacogdoches that you enjoy?
I like the small town community feel. It has all the things that you like, all the things that you need close to home, but it's not big city. People are just really friendly here, and it's a beautiful place.
It is. And I assume you service the county. Oh, you don't service the county, but you're open to the county for adoptions,
Yes.
correct? Um, I was going to ask you about, well, specifically about, um, I guess Duck here has just taken the words right out of my mouth. What other type of animals do you have besides, I would think of kitties and doggies as, the ones that would be most common, but what else do you have in your area?
We have actually had guppies, chickens, snakes, several different types of birds, guinea pigs, hamsters, gerbils, rabbits, just about anything you can think of. We've had potbelly pigs, we've had goats, we don't really have the housing for goats, so usually it's trying to locate the animal. Livestock usually we take out to the expo center and we house it out there. We don't have the boarding facilities and the kennel facilities that we need for them, so we use the expo center for our livestock until we can try to locate the animal owner if they get out and they're running loose. Most of the time they're reclaimed pretty quickly, so most people are watching out for those things.
Gotcha. Well, among your services, I was thinking about animal control.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you tell someone about, spade, neutering animals? What do you advise?
Fix your pets, get them spayed, get them neutered, and keep them vaccinated. We have some illnesses here that are fatal to cats and dogs. Just a simple vaccine, you can actually get those at Tractor Supply or Atwood's, any kind of feed store that deals with animals. You can get like the 5-in-1 shots, 7-in-1 shots, and you can do those yourself. Now, rabies is required by state law, the rabies vaccine, and that has to be administered by a vet. So that one you have to go to a vet to get that taken care of. But for the most part, you can do a lot of your animal care on your own, but the prevention is the best part. And if you get your animals fixed, then we don't have to take in unwanted kittens and puppies that you can't find homes for. So if you have a friend that wants a cat from yours and they're willing to take that, just stop and think that animal's going to produce more than one. Mm. So if you don't have homes lined up for them, and even if people say, I'll take one, when it comes down to crunch time and it's time to pick it up, they don't always follow through. So you have to be prepared for that. And then what are you going to do if you can't find them homes?
And I've also heard maybe of some other groups, even locally here
Mm-hmm.
in our county or surrounding counties, that work for pets, for animals.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your advice if we want to interact with them? What would your advice be?
We have a local chapter of the Humane Society. They do assistance for spaying and neutering. They'll do the first round of shots and the rabies vaccine when you get that animal spayed or neutered. They are reopening to the public the beginning of December, I believe. They're doing some end of year stuff, but once they kick that back up, they'll be doing that program where they assist people that are low income that might, they have pets at home but might need some assistance with getting those animals taken care of. So they take care of that. And then they also do a trap, neuter, release program for feral cat colonies, which, cats breed like crazy, and they produce very rapidly, and so getting those guys fixed and allowing them to do their job and letting them wrangle up little snakes and bugs and stuff like that, but not be making babies all over town is a smart way to go. So, and they do emergency aid as well. So sometimes if somebody has an issue and a sudden illness with an animal, they can assist with that as well for vet care.
So I see along with duck and herring, you brought supplies, you brought a carrier. I would think if someone's looking to adopt a pet and it might be their first pet, you would be able to advise them on what they're going to need beyond just the animal.
Right, and we do have some of that at the shelter. We have donations that are given to us by the public, and we let people choose from our little gift cart, and we have gift bags that have samples of the food that we're feeding them at the shelter. So when they get them home, if they want to transition them to something else, they have what we're giving them at the shelter, so it doesn't upset their stomach in the transition. And you just slowly wean them off of the food we're doing and put them on whatever they want. But
great. So if someone wants to donate, if someone wants more, where do they go to find more?
If they want to donate to the shelter, they can bring products. They can bring gift cards to pet supply stores or anything like that, and we will utilize those. And we do that for the shelter animals. But stuff that we don't put in the kennels with the animals for safety reasons, we put on a cart in the front lobby and let people choose from that. So they, it makes that first little bit getting set up a little easier for people taking home a new.
Well, I think Duck is trying to tell us that we have to wrap up.
Okay.
So thank you so much for joining me, Theresa. Thank you, little guy. And we thank you for joining us on We Are Nacogdoches.
This program is brought to you by the Department of Mass Communication at Stephen F. Austin State University, in association with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and with special thanks to the City of Nacogdoches.